Hi everyone. Today is Wednesday, November the 12th, and we are not meeting in class today, so this video replaces the discussion I would hold with you at the beginning of class. Then I'm going to describe to you what your in-class activity is. If you look at our calendar, this week we are completing Chapter 4 and Plug It In 3. You had those quizzes that were due last night, and today I'm about to describe to you your in-class activity, and so you'll have those instructions to complete that activity by tonight at 11:59 for your in-class activity. Next week you've got 3 chapters, Chapter 6, Chapter 7, and Plug It In number 6. So you've got 3 quizzes and 3 activities that are due by next Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. And those activities are outlined on the chapter activities page. Chapter 6 is collaboration activity 6, but you do this as an individual. For Chapter 7 is apply the concept 7.1, and for Plug It In 6 you're going to complete the discussion questions at the end of that chapter material. So collaboration activity 6, but you do it as an individual. Apply the concept 7.1 and Plug It In 6 discussion questions are the activities that you need to complete by next Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. The in-class activities that we would do today, but that we're not going to do, I want you to look at Apply the Concept 4.4. We're not going to look at the problem-solving activity from Plug It In number 3. I'm going to focus on Apply the Concept 4.4, and that is on, if you have the printed copy of the book, that is on page 152. Is where you find Apply the Concept 4.4, and you're basically looking at a web meeting company called Fuse Meeting, F-U-Z-E. You're going to review their product and then take the things that you can do with the internet, the discovery, the communication, the collaboration, and you're going to look at their product and you're going to determine what tools they offer to allow online groups to meet and do all of those things. So you're going to be looking at activity Apply the Concept 4.4. You're going to write up a description of how it supports discovery, communication, and collaboration and submit that in the Dropbox. So your activity is to take the ideas from the textbook basically and see how they align to one of the products that's out in the market that you can use. And in fact, you can use certain aspects of it for free. So also comment on what you're able to do for free and what you have to pay for. It may be that something is more enhanced in the paid version, or you might think that everything is good enough to support discovery, communication, and collaboration in the free version. So be sure and take a look at that. So your activity for in-class activity is Apply the Concept 4.4, and I will write those instructions into the Dropbox as well. So the chapter material that we've covered, Chapter 6 was about the telecommunications. No, I'm sorry, that was Chapter 4. Chapter 4 was telecommunications, and Plug It In 3 was about the cloud. So we're taking the two ideas here and putting them together because the cloud is brought to us by telecommunications. Now once you have everything connected and you have everything in the cloud and you have so much access to your information, you've got to secure that. Part of it is Chapter 6, Ethics and Privacy. There's a lot of things to deal with regarding ethics and privacy. There's certain ways that you can look at decisions, and that's where ethics comes in, depending on your moral background and what you've been taught is right and wrong. Sometimes people view things differently, and ethics is not a legal issue. A lot of time, well, always, ethics is the gray area where there is no legal direction. You have to choose what is right or wrong for you. And so as you go to different countries and different cultures, opinions of what is ethical is different. So you have to decide as a company what your code of ethics is going to be. And this leads a lot into privacy, because privacy is not absolute. We think privacy is absolute, but it's not. What is acceptable for my privacy might be trumped, or what I think should be acceptable for my privacy might be trumped by the society's right to know. So my right to privacy is not absolute. A lot of times governments and courts have ruled in favor of the public's right to know what I'm doing more than they've ruled in favor of my right to privacy. If what I'm doing in my privacy is breaking the law or possibly endangering the community around me, then their right to know trumps my right to privacy. So we're going to talk about ethics and privacy because they are so important when you're looking at all of the cloud and interconnections that we have today. Then we're going to look in Chapter 7 at network security, how you're going to actually secure your network. So that's an interesting topic to look at. And then plug-in number 6 deals with your personal security. And I don't think it's a very long section. I think it's just plug-in number 6. Let me flip back here real quick. It's not very long, but there's some interesting information in here about how to protect your information assets. And there's some pretty specific instructions as to things that you can do to walk through that material to make sure that you have your network and your equipment protected. So that's the material, that's the overview of the chapters. We're moving from the networks that provide the interconnectivity to the cloud to talking about how to ethically deal with this, talking about privacy issues and security and how you should protect your personal assets. So just to recap, for today, you're going to be doing Apply the Concept 4.4 in place of your in-class activity. For next week, you need to complete a quiz for Chapter 6, quiz for Chapter 7, and the quiz for plug-in number 6, and complete the activities associated with those chapters. Those activities, again, are Collaboration Activity 6 that you do as an individual, Apply the Concept 7.1, and the plug-in 6 discussion questions at the end of the chapter. So those are the 3 activities you need to have completed and the quizzes by next week at 11:59 p.m. Go ahead and plan to be in class on Wednesday, November 19th for our in-class activity over these 3 chapters. Hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week.